Hey everyone, this is Kevin, your Aptrepreneur, and it's a new day, a new year, a new month, a new everything, and a new dawn for Uber, as they have hired for the first time ever a COO in Barney Harford. Now, is that right? Barney Harford? Yeah. So, Barney Harford, has given his first, I don't know if it's interview, but he has been at least quoted for the first time that I am aware of in this Recode article that says Uber powered 4 billion rides in 2017 and it wants to do more and cheaper in 2018. There's something that drivers do not like hearing when it comes to Uber. And, the two things they don't like hearing in the same sentence is Uber and cheaper. That we do not like that because we usually know where that leads. It usually leads to falling rates and cheaper rides for the customer, but not necessarily better pay for the driver. Well, drivers have to be a little cautious about that, but there's also a little bit here that for a company might be a good thing. And we're going to skip most of this because this sentence right here says, but for Barney Harford, the company's first ever COO, he wants to make Uber more efficient. And he said, a big focus for me is around achieving operational efficiency and discipline. Now, keep in mind, he's not talking about drivers at this point. He's talking about the company, and this has to happen rather quickly. So if you go down, he was focusing on reducing costs by being more methodical with things like marketing and customer support. And more of the article points out that they're thinking they can probably be a little bit smarter with how they use their marketing budget, which is true. In fact, I don't even think they really need to market that much. I mean, how many commercials do you see for Amazon? Not many, because Amazon's the default. Uber is also, for the most part, the default for ride sharing. You also don't see a lot of advertisement for Denny's, and I think maybe that's just because Denny's so established they don't need to advertise. But if I read this correctly, I think he's going to be advertising Uber where places where people might not have heard of Uber or don't use it, and they're not going to be so spread out. And he's going to be improving customer support. There is, however, something you need to be cautious about here, because part of the marketing department is subsidies. And as you can see here, that doesn't mean the company will do away with subsidies entirely, he said. While the company has already lowered its incentive payments to drivers quarter over quarter, it remains important for Uber to find a more cost-efficient means to attract and keep riders and drivers, given it's a big source of loss for the company. And this is where Barney is going to have a very difficult time, because I don't know if you've noticed, but have you noticed that Boost isn't as high or even as common as it used to be? Like, it used to be, I don't know, in my area, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it used to be all over the map, 1.5. Now it's on, from 5 p.m. to 3 a.m. Now from like 11 p.m. to 3 a.m., it's in a few spots and it's 1.1. Well, that's them cutting their costs. What about the Quest? I remember when it's like 40 rides, used to net me $80. And then if you did like 60 rides, you get 120. Now, 10 rides, $10. 20 rides, 30, maybe 34. They're cutting their costs, and they're seeing what they can get away with. Well, right here, there are typically more promotions when a company first enters a city or market in order to attract new drivers, which is true. However, this was where Uber created a problem for themselves. I think people understood when they got on these were just a promotion and this was a bonus. But when Uber kept cutting the rates and they kept cutting the payout, well, drivers started quitting. 180 days of change was partly in desperation to keep them from losing the drivers. The drivers were getting fed up and they were leaving, and promotions, Boost, Quest, I think went a long way in keeping drivers around. Maybe too long a way, because I don't know if they were I don't know if they were positive enough that they should have kept that many drivers around. But they did. And now they're talking about cutting those as well. Typical, right? Here, and we're gonna skip the advertising thing. But one of the things that they want to cut costs is to make customer support more effective, which can help. But here's where the article gets it wrong. Uber's customer support inefficiencies have been at the forefront of many drivers' issues over the years, and the company isn't exactly in a position to lose a critical mass of driver. It's why customer service is one of the first things Uber tried to solve during its driver improvement campaign. That's, of course, a lie. Granted, we do want better customer support, and I have to admit, they have improved their customer support significantly. The number one thing people have asked about are the rates. When are the rates going up? And Uber's going to keep spinning this wheel as long as they can, to the point where people keep asking, like, what about a strike? Is there a solution? And it's like, guys, there is a solution. If you want Uber to pay you better, you got to simply stop driving for Uber. It's that simple. If it's not worth it to you, if you're not making money, if this is not sufficient enough, get out of it. That's the only way they get the message, is if people actually get out of it. They came awfully close to getting the message when they did the 180 days of change, because they saw the numbers. They saw how many drivers they were losing. So they did 180 days of change, and it was a really brilliant marketing campaign, because over 6 months, they strung us along that things were going to get significantly better. And they opened with tips where we were even optimistically thinking, oh, the rates are going to go up. But guys, the rates aren't going to go up. They're not. Actually, I should take that back. Uber did raise the rates. It just didn't give any to the drivers. Upfront pricing, that was a rate increase for them. The booking fee, that's a rate increase for them. They're not giving the drivers that. In fact, I think when they switched to upfront pricing, I'm going to have to do a double check, but I think they actually lowered the rates and they just didn't tell anyone. So, you know what? This is what it is. Uber will not pay us a dime more as long as we give them the impression that customer service and tipping will be enough to keep us around. If the rates are not enough, because you can't always depend on Surge and these promotions. I mean, you can depend on Quest over the weekend. You can't depend on it during the weekday, though. Well, get out of it. You've got to get out of it. I'm sorry, that's what it is. I mean, I kind of have to drive, but I have to drive a little bit just because I run this channel. But even I've scaled back quite a bit. And it's really the driving is more of a hobby now, really. I mean, when I started this, it was like a business opportunity. I can't seriously go into this as a business opportunity. You notice that I don't actually make here so you can make more money on Uber, because it's really, really difficult to. Apparently, the Simple Driver figured out how you could do it, and kudos to him if he did, but I don't know. I've tried putting some of his suggestions into motion, and I personally have not found much results. So, is there anything else in this article? I think that's it. Let's see here. That's an interesting quote. Sorry for the pause there. In general, Hartford expects to focus more on the traditional rideshare business than he will on the company's Uber Everything arm. As COO, Hartford oversees the company's regional businesses led by general managers Rachel Holt, Andrew McDonald, and Pierre-Dimitri Gore-Cotti, as well as Uber Everything led by Jason Droge. And yeah, so this article is a little disappointing, to be honest. It's kind of amazing that even after 180 days of change, even after the walkouts, Uber didn't learn anything. And they're feeling probably a little cocky because we've just come off of New Year's Eve. And admittingly, drivers do turn up for New Year's Eve. They always have. There's money to be made in that day. So they're probably coming right off and saying, hey, look, see how many drivers still drive for us? I guess we did our job. So, let's focus on marketing. And heck, we can maybe even start considering taking away the subsidies. But what Uber's going to find out is, like, once we start losing the subsidies, once we start losing the promotions, the boost. I mean, the boost isn't much, but it's something. Once we start losing quests, then we can't do it anymore. We are squeezed to the penny right now. Many drivers are, and they just can't afford it. And I think you will always have the people who lease the cars doing Uber because they don't have much of a choice. They have to make those car payments or they will be in serious trouble. They have to do that. So those people will drive. But I don't need to drive. I'm making more money talking about Uber than I am driving for them, so I will drive less. They change the surge, I'll drive less. Heck, I might not even make it a priority to go out on the weekend anymore. I'll drive Lyft instead. And it's just sad. That's the reality where we are now. So, and in an upcoming video, I will talk about the strike, if it will, but you probably aren't going to like what I have to say about it, and because it's unfortunately an opinion based solely in reality. But on this topic, what about you? Would you continue to drive for Uber even if they cut the boost and the quest? Or did you give up on Uber a long time ago? I bet you a lot of you gave up on Uber a long time ago, and now you just watch my videos because, you find, a pudgy fat guy who looks like the real life incarnation of Cartman to be really funny. I don't know. Comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. And if you do enjoy the videos and you want to give the real life incarnation of Cartman, like, say, a hot dog or something, consider becoming a Patreon member for as little as $1 a month. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.